the other day. That's a heck of a compliment, isn't it, for a running back?
Yeah, it is. It is a big compliment, I would say. I mean, at running back, you got to be violent, and sometimes you got to be, like swift or elusive, I should say. So yeah, it is a big compliment from coach.
How good did it feel for you to get back out there after missing a couple games and make a big play on Saturday?
It felt real good. After my injury, my freshman year, I didn't, get a lot of playing time, so it felt good to be back on the field, and it's like where I belong almost. You know what I'm saying?
What happened to you in the Oregon game? What was the injury you suffered?
I split my nose and had a concussion. I got it on kickoff.
2 years ago, you got hurt against
Right.
Now you have a breakout game. You're starting to compete for that backup role just in time to face Maryland in the season. Kind of fun. Life works out that way for you?
Yeah, I don't want to call it revenge because I don't really believe in revenge. But I feel like when my name is called to get on the field, I'll be ready to make the play.
Is that a little bit of like added motivation for you? This is the, just 2 years later, you get to play that team again. You got hurt against.
Yeah, it is some motivation, most definitely. It is some motivation.
How impactful has this Ohio State running back room kind of helped you in terms of developing your personal game with all the competition, whether it's Trayvon, Mayan, Master? Like, how have they kind of helped you develop your personal game?
I feel like with all the competition in the room, it ups everybody's game because everybody has to be on edge. Not edge, but they have to be on point to the details, to the scheme, everything. So I feel like it's improved everybody's game in all aspects of football, from on the field to off the field in the meeting room as well.
The rotations changed quite a bit over the course of a year in terms of, I know a lot of times Ryan Day has said that's dependent on, who's practicing well. How much does that kind of keep you guys motivated when you know that the coaches are willing to change things up from week to week based on performance?
It keeps you motivated a lot because you never know when your name is going to be called to make that play on the field. So everybody has to stay ready at all times.
You waited a while to get back on the field. It's got to be pretty hard to try to not do too much, to try to play within yourself.
What do you mean?
Try not to run 80 yards every play. Try to hurdle people and knock people over. Just take what's there and run the play. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's part of football. But I feel like as you play more in the game, you're gonna take what's given. But your ultimate goal is to have a touchdown or to do something spectacular. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have an idea that your role would be a little bit more increased against Rutgers last week, or just based on your practices, or was that kind of a surprise to you?
I would say it was both because I had a good week of practice and I was mentally ready to go in the game, and I was also physically ready to go in the game. So when my number was called, I wasn't so much surprised, but I was ready. I was prepared.
Is there an expectation moving forward in terms of carries, or is it? I don't know in terms of that running back rotation for you guys, but do you have an expectation for a certain amount of carries each week, or how?
Nah, I have no expectations. My role is I'll fill my role. I'm a team first guy, and then whatever happens from there happens.
What have you seen over the course of this year from Trayvon Henderson that you think's enabled him to have so much success right away?
What do you mean?
Just what is Trayvon done over the course of this year that you think has allowed him to be succeeding as much as he is already?
He practices hard. He practices extremely hard.
Does that stand out in a way that's maybe different than you've seen from other freshmen coming in?
Yeah, most definitely. Because a lot of freshmen, coming in, it's hard to get the feel for college football. And the only way you're going to do that, especially here, is going hard at practice because you're practicing against the best. So he practices extremely hard.
What's the chemistry like in the room? Because obviously there's only one ball or 4 or 5 of you guys in there, and week to week it just seems to change.
The chemistry's great. We're all brothers. we all love each other. It's like when you playing your big brother in basketball and you still want to win. It's that competitiveness. But we all love each other. It's a great room.
Marcus, so do you see do you anticipate seeing a bigger role for not only yourself but other running backs in the room as the season goes along? Or do you think it's still going to be kind of maybe just 1-2 guys getting the majority, if not all, the carries for most of the games?
I can't really answer that. I don't know. I can't answer that. I have no idea.
Well, but you personally, do you see your confidence growing as well as guys that are maybe not seeing as much playing time on the field, but you guys are growing as a unit, gaining confidence, and you think as the season progresses, you guys are going to be out on the field more in clutch situations like yourself on that 3rd down against Rutgers?
Yeah, I guess that's part of what we call it competitive excellence. So when your number is called, you're ready to make that play. And I feel like everybody's confidence right now is through the roof. So everyone in the room will be ready when that number is called.
Marcus, you've gone through more adversity than the average player with your injuries. How have you managed to maintain the right kind of attitude and just kind of persevere?
Honestly, that was the toughest thing that I've ever struggled with. The mental aspect of being hurt and then returning to play. Mentally, it's the hardest thing. But I kind of, through the whole process, I found out how to control and regulate my emotions. So it's when I'm down, I can tell myself to feel a certain way, or what I'm saying? It's kind of like I regulate my emotions to where I can get through the day and be good.
How long was it after the ACL that you really felt like yourself again?
I would say about a year and some change.
Have you gotten help with that, the feeling like you're talking about with the psychologists and stuff, people that are available to you? Or?
Yeah, actually I have. I sat down and talked to her name's Candace, one of our psych people here.
Yeah.
She helped me tremendously in ways that I never thought.
Yeah.
So
Saturday at Rutgers, did you feel like the old Marcus? What you got a few more carries maybe than usual. What did you feel like out there? Did you know what I mean? Was there still any anxiety, or is it?
No anxiety, because from practice, I knew what I had to do, and I was going to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
When my number was called, I was prepared. I wasn't nervous or anxious or anything.
Do you feel like a different player now than you were a year ago when you were still working your way back from that injury?
I do, mainly because I've matured a lot more. And that's really accurate.
So it's more of a mental growth than it is physical.
Well, yeah, I put on some weight too, and I got stronger. But I would say the mental growth is the main aspect for me.
What is your weight at right now?
212.
Has that been
Last question.
something you've dealt with the majority of your life, or is it something that's maybe set on more recently? Maybe when you made the transition from high school and traveling so far from home and coming here to Ohio State.
What's that?
As far as just
Mental?
yeah, kind of going through what you've gone through mentally and growing in that regard.
Nah, it's been something that I've had to deal with my whole life. I'm not from the best area. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Just the hardest part is when football isn't going your way. Because as a student athlete, my life is devoted to football right now. And everything I do revolves around football. So when that's not going well for me, and not just me, for everyone, it's kind of like you're down in the slumps. So you just got to find something that'll change your mindset to boost positivity.
And what is that? Has there been something specific for you that you found? Or is it just kind of, once again, just growing a little older and kind of understanding your role in life, not just on the football team, if you will?
Keith,
Well,
we're done over there.
I think it's part of maturing, but as far as having a goal in life, I don't know if I so much believe in that. You know what I'm saying? A specific role in life or a specific, I don't really know how I feel about that. But I feel like just it comes with maturing, being able to be in tune with yourself and what you want and what you like.